Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Daniel Hood Roofing. Snow, ice, freezing rain, more snow. It's been a wild week here in East Tennessee. Couple the precipitation with those frigid temperatures like you got right now, and your roof has been through one heck of a workout this week. Before the next big weather event hits, call Daniel Hood Roofing, have them come out and give your home a free inspection. Because if you're sitting there waiting until you see a leak, the damage is already done above the leak. When you see it on your ceiling, you got troubles up in your attic and under your roof. Daniel Hood Roofing can help spot those troubles and tell you if you need something, if you don't. They do a great job. Good folks, DanielHoodRoofing.com to learn more. Call them this week. All right, take a look here. Bama, I know nobody's going to be sad about this, but this shows you how important. I've always said, hire the right coach, don't worry about the signing class. I may have to change my tune because now when you change coaches, it can destroy your whole program. Alabama currently has 30 people in the transfer portal. 4 of those people are 5 stars, and they're already gone. You see them right there. One to Ohio State, another to Ohio State, one to Iowa, one to Texas. One of them looked at that Citrus Bowl and said, I want to go play on that offense. They've also got 14 4-stars in the portal. So Kalen DeBoer's got his work cut out for him at Alabama thanks to this NIL and transfer. And what it shows me is players now are waiting for any reason to put themselves on the market. Oh, the coach is gone? Hey, I'm available. How much are you going to pay me? But if you're Tennessee laughing at this, well, let's take a look at the Volunteers situation. You got 6 guys coming in. You got 12 that are leaving. 9 are going to Power 5 schools. 3 are going to Louisville. Now, that includes Tyler Barron. If you're saying, well, wait, didn't he go into Ole Miss? Oh, he did. He agreed to Ole Miss for a couple of weeks, and then apparently something changed, and he decided Louisville is now the spot for him. So I don't know if that makes him an Ole Miss rebel for life, or at least for a couple of weeks.
They installed hallways in the portal, so now you're able to take a turn.
Off-ramp, yeah. So Arkansas's got 2 of the Tennessee guys, one to Arizona, one to Georgia Tech. Gerald Mincy, who we'll talk about later, went to Kentucky, and one to Ole Miss. And then the other big story this week, the Department of Justice joined a lawsuit against the NCAA. This is how Gerald Mincy left here. Forever, the NCAA had said 1 transfer, and that's fine. But you have to sit out of here. Then it became 1 transfer, you don't have to sit. Now court cases have risen up, and they've said, okay, we can't stop you, you can transfer again. But once the DOJ's involved, they're beat. The NCAA's beaten all these court cases. They can't win any of them. The question is, if I can't stop you from moving once or twice, what's to stop a kid from transferring every single year? I'll go to 5 different schools. And the answer is nothing is to stop you. My question, I'll start with Sterling. We understand that for years, players have been stuck with a coach who left or whatever. I mean, stuck with a program and the coach they signed with left. They're trapped. They can't move. So I think everybody agrees that they should have some freedom. Yes. Now it's total freedom. Yeah. Has the chaos now, has the bad outweighed the good that comes with this, in your opinion, or no?
The unfortunate reality, I agree with that right now. The bad is outweighing the good because you're trying to correct something that's been wrong for over 100 years in 1 or 2 years. You can't microwave this situation. This has to be a slow-cooked situation and probably better prepared before it was served on the table so everybody can eat from it. And right now you're dealing with a situation where, you're dealing with a situation where, it's right because the players should have the opportunity to move as the coaches do. So many times the guy that recruits you to a school is a guy that leaves the school, and you're there with the school. Then another coach comes in, and then he brings a guy in that he happens to like better than you, that didn't recruit you at the school he came to your school from, and now you're playing behind that guy that he brought to your school. Yeah. You follow what I'm saying? So
barely.
I'm glad barely is better than none. But the deal is
his school.
The deal is, John P. It's opening a level of fairness to the players, but I think it's gotten too wide, too fast, but now we've got to find a way to bring it back in and bring it down some lines.
And I don't think it happened. I think the only problem is the NCAA should have been working on this for years. Yes. They should have seen it coming, but they didn't. And now I think it's all in the microwave. Yep. Marlon, what's your take? Is the bad outweighing the good, or is it still good outweighing the bad?
I think it depends on who you are. If you're Louisville, you're excited, right? I can flip my roster. Colorado, I can flip my roster. But I would say the bad is outweighing the good because I'm thinking from a locker room perspective. As a teammate, When I don't know this guy that I'm playing next to, that makes it hard for me to do my job because I don't trust that guy.
Right.
I know you're there for money purposes, in opposed to I love the University of Tennessee. This is my school. Like you said, it's been unfair. I think they've got to reel it in somehow. Or else you're going to be looking at different rosters every year, and I think that makes it harder for you to go win a championship if you are a team like Tennessee where you're not top tier and you're counting on guys you don't really know that much about.
It's just a team of mercenaries.
Right.
And for those who say, well, the NFL is like that, the NFL has contracts you sign.
Right.
So you're there for 3 years. You're there for 4 years. You're there for 2 years. It's not every year the roster is completely out the door. Marlon mentioned, depends on who you are. Coaches and fans, it ain't good for them.
No.
I mean, take the coach aspect of it. I mean, it's kind of obvious. And you take the fan aspect.
Yeah, the coach aspect, I know that we think about the Power 5 coaches that make a ton of money and their coordinators that now are making a ton of money. They don't all make a ton of money. And the group of 5 coaches, like Alabama's the story this week. Well, South Alabama lost its head coach to Alabama, actually. So now South Alabama's affected and San Jose State. So those coaches are having their players recruited 12 months out of the year. In the middle of October, their players are getting direct messages saying, hey, I see what you're doing there. At the end of the season, if you want to come here. I also don't think it's great for a lot of the players. Finding long-term opportunities at your school, these guys did, and look at the opportunities that are created beyond playing at that school. So I think these rule changes or the laws that are changing can negatively affect the players too.
Yeah, and as far as the fans are concerned, it's just a totally, completely different way you have to view your team. You sit there and everybody's excited on signing day, and you watch these kids grow. And I mean, and you're excited that
Wayne
man,
Chisholm.
Yeah,
a guy.
Wayne Chisholm, perfect example. And you sit there, Dylan Sampson, here's another one. Man, he's going to be the starter next year. This is going to be great. And now, well, he came here, he played a little bit, he didn't like something, he got more money, he's gone. And now your experience of being a UT fan is much more the experience of being an NFL fan, with the exception of in the NFL, I'm here 2, 3, 4 years, however long my contract is, instead of, well, he was here for 4 weeks, and I enjoyed him while he was here before he left.
I want to
Real quick.
real quick on what Bob is saying. Back, right before I came to school, back in 1986, the NCAA stopped signing 4-year contracts, 4-year scholarships. Your scholarship had to be renewed every year.
Yeah. Which is a good way to run players off if you're a coach, yeah.
But back then you were still married to the NCAA rule where you couldn't transfer and be eligible right away.
It was a one-way street.
So now, see what I'm saying? So now some of the things that was probably put in place to make a player or a student athlete do a certain thing back then is coming to a situation where you're like, whoa,
It's flipped.
So that's I want to just
Remember, if players are coming in, somebody does have to go to.
Yeah.
And Sterling nailed it. It's too much, too fast. I want the players to have that kind of freedom, but at the same time, I kind of want to know what I'm going to go watch next year.
The problem is there's no putting the brakes on it now.
Oh, yeah.
Because the NCAA loses every court case. There's no stopping it now, so it's only going to get worse. Bob, you're a guy, I hate chaos. You're a guy who likes chaos.
I
Except
liked
this.
it. Me and you talked about it. It was going to be fun. Okay, boy, did I miss this one.
Yeah, there we go. All right. When we come back, these guys loved UT. Nobody in the world loves UT more than this guy. If these rules had been in place when they were in college and they had NIL and opportunities to go play somewhere else with no sitting out or anything, would they have transferred? Interesting stuff coming up next. Come on back on the Sports Source.